Hey guys, I bought a lot of Monarch specs this week, but I've seen a lot of community outcry about it, like, oh my god, my cards, my playables, and all that. 95% of my buys were cold foil specific. I bought some rainbow foils, but if I did, typically they had a white border variant or a foreign variant, so there's other cards available to it. Not everything I did was that, but most of it was, and most of the cards I bought will probably end up rebounding anyways. But I want to go into different ways of buying in the market. So plenty of people buy like what I do, where they'll spec on cards and do everything like that. But I did a massive amount pretty quickly, like $30,000 in a week, right? That's quite a bit. I usually don't do that. Last time I did that was Dragons, but I was like $10,000, $15,000. And I did a lot of specs in 2021, 2020, and all that stuff like that. No one complained. So what's good right now is people are bitching, which means people are very interested in the market, which doesn't usually happen. Last year, I bought tons of Monarch, tons of other stuff like that, all over the place. Bought bulk from overseas. Nobody cared that I was buying bulk rainbow foil commons and rares and stuff like that. No one cared. So this year, people care. All of a sudden, it happens. But you also got to consider that there's many ways to buy in the market. I paid market price for everything I did. I wanted on TCG Player. I'm like, okay, I want this. I'm going to buy up to X price because I'm happy with that, right? That's what I did. Very public. I went about, told people what I bought. It's there. Nothing to hide, right? So other ways I could have done it is I could have bought everything, not told anybody, and someone might say, oh, everyone's buying this card. It's hot. Everybody's buying it. No, it's me, right? It may or may not be hot. But, you have a bunch of random people go and buy it too. Like some channels might promote a card, and all of a sudden the next day you see it spike. So you might have like 10, 20, 30 people buy it. Or me, I buy it, a card, and it spikes because I bought it. There's no difference right there. Different philosophies is I'm spending more money versus a lot of people spending little money, right? So it's easier to get mad at one person. Or you get mad at the whole group. Doesn't really matter. But there's many ways I could buy in the market, right? I bought publicly. But what about stores that have buy list? They pay 70% TCG Player low, right? Or maybe 50, 60%. I could do that. I can make a buy list, buy over time, right? I could pay people less money. But I don't have any of the sellers that sold to me on TCG Player say, oh my God, you're evil. I don't want your money. I'm going to reject you. Some people, said they didn't have the card inventory. That happens all the time. But I don't have any emails saying, oh, please don't, I don't want your money. Don't buy my card off me. It's been sitting there for months. I don't want to sell it. So I don't see that happening either. So a lot of people got money this week that didn't have money, right, for the cards. So they got it off me. All right, so that's the other way is, before in the past is you could go in stores, buy off the LGS. It's less public forum, privately. I could go to New Zealand, I could go to America, just look up stores and buy off that, right? I've done that in the past, but buying off TCG Player is just convenient for me for my history record. But, instead of buying singles, I could have gone out of the way and bought tons of boxes of Monarch Unlimited. I could have bought Monarch First Edition. I didn't do that, but I could have. That's a different route I could have gone. Would someone be mad if I bought up all the boxes of Monarch Unlimited and First Edition? Nobody even cared about those until like a week ago, right? So if I bought all those, would people be all pissed like, oh, what about the players? He has all the boxes now, all that stuff. So there's that. Also, I could do private buys off TCG Player. I could, try to find the Facebook groups, Discord groups, and pick up all the cards that way too, right? So there's so many ways of doing it. I try to be open about it, but someone's always going to be upset. Actually, they're not always going to be upset because last year no one gave a fuck. So now people all suddenly care. So it shows me people are upset about Monarch still or excited about Monarch and all that. So you have a chance to get your cards. They're still available. They're not too much money. Husk, I bought up to 125, went up to 160, went back to 110. Now it's like 130, 150. But another thing too, though, is whenever I do these buys, I see the same people complaining about how the prices went up. But then I see people sell those cards at the new price because it's now a market price because I bought up to X amount of money, right? So if those people are really upset, they should sell it at the price before I bought the cards, right? So don't sell it at TCG Player low. You become the low, make the price you want to be at. If you're saying you're for the players, sell the card at 40. For example, I bought tons of Brave Force Bracers for $40. Went up to 80, right? So if the next price is 99, does that mean the new market price is 99? Or is it last TCG sold, which is 80? So if you have a card in Brave Force Bracers, like, oh my God, I need to sell now because it's $80. Well, now you're making $80 instead of the 40. You could have sold it at 40, right? But you didn't. So if you're selling at 80, you're taking advantage of the fact that I just bought the cards up to 80, and now you're saying that's the new market price. Market price might be 60, right? Or maybe it's really going to be a card in demand, and maybe the card's $100, $150. Who knows? But if you're complaining about me making purchases and then selling it for new prices I bought it up to, who's the hypocrite, right? So there's many ways of going about it. I bought many cards in the past. So I've been buying Flesh and Blood since 2020. I got it in April 2020. Godness as a player, got Cold Foil, got addicted to it, bought really big. So I'm not a millionaire, not rich, whatever, but I do a lot of buying and selling. So I'll sell some of my Cold Foils from Alpha, Welcome to Wrath, Crucible War when I make my new purchases. I try to figure out where can I potentially speculate to make more money. So yeah, when I buy stuff, I'm trying to make money, but I'm also buying on what's going to be potentially in demand in the future. If it's sitting on the market forever, I bought tons of Everfest Cold Foils. They were like $5, $10. I bought them up to 30. Doesn't mean that's going to be market price. Might go down to $4 and I lost all my money. Who knows? So all I ever hear is when something goes well, people are going to bitch. If I lose tons of money, everyone's going to laugh in my face, say, oh, what an idiot. He bought all these cards, lost money. If I make a lot of money, you're like, oh, what a jerk. He's taking advantage of the player base. So it goes both ways. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm very open about it. There's many other people who buy in the market, very similar to me. They might buy tons of boxes instead of singles. They might open up the boxes and sell the singles, right? But if the prices go up, people are going to raise the prices accordingly, right? But if people don't want the cards and it doesn't sell, it's going to drop in price. So take that into consideration. There's a lot to learn here. Not everybody has the same view of the market as I do, but I've been in the market for 3 years now. I don't collect any other TCGs. I collect Flesh and Blood. I played a lot. I started the Seattle group. I've been in many competitions. I went to the Calling, Las Vegas. I went to Nationals, Florida, I forget, 2021. And then I played the Calling, New Jersey. I really played Katsu a lot, and I enjoyed the meta a lot when Monarch came out. Chain and Prism were fun to play against, even though they were difficult. I like to race them. It was a lot of fun when I beat a Chain. But I haven't played as much lately because the meta changed, and I'm a Katsu fan. But now Katsu's back, so I'm really excited about the game. So lots of cool things going on. But let's go ahead and go to TCG Player real quick, just so I can show you a few things of what I could have done differently that may piss off other people differently, right? So you have all these cards on TCG Player. I typically like to collect Legendaries, Fables, because if I were to resell them, it's less shipment. But let's pick Beacon of Victory, for example. I'm just looking at it right now, even though the prices. This might be a card that's using Bolted in the future. It's a Light Warrior card. Again, I don't know if this card's good or not. I don't play Bolton, but I'm just going to pick a first edition Rainbow Foil. $6. If I were to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, 8 cards, there'd be one left. You got Francis Store right there. He's a Whale Street patron. But if I bought all these up to here, the only card would be left with $15. Does that mean the new market price is $15? Is it $13 because I bought up to $13? Or is really the price $10 or $5? I mean, I think this is too low right here. I'm not going to buy these right now, but if I were to do that, what is the realistic price of this card? What should it be at? If you guys are selling at higher prices, I bought X amount of cards to up certain price, I'm not the villain. I mean, you can say I am because I bought it up and like, oh, that's new market price. Or you can say, okay, well, other people like realize, oh, wait a minute, this card might have been undervalued. It was sitting there for a while. It got people's attention. They forgot about it, right? So there's many ways to look at it. So that's one card right there. It's a cheap one. There's an unlimited version of it too, right? So that's first edition. Let's see what else we got. Let's go to Monarch Unlimited. Let's go to high to low. Anyways, Celestial Cataclysm is probably a good card to pick. Let's go to Monarch first edition cases and go unlimited. So Monarch went all the way down to $340 in February. Now it's up to $450, right? So a lot of buy history right there. I wish I bought some more when it was low. Like it went down to $327 in February. I mean, I wish I bought that. How many did it sell at that point? So it's like $320. Nobody wanted the product, right? Nobody wanted Monarch. Such a bad taste to it. Now it's the hot shit, right? So, and the one that sold at $425 had $25 shipping, I believe. So I think the lowest sell is $450. If I were to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cases right there, $4,500, does that mean the new market price is $500? It is if someone's willing to pay it. If not, it's $450, right? It really is what it is. Maybe this case is a $1,000 case. Maybe these are all undervalued still. Who knows? Let's go to Monarch Unlimited real quick. Right here. That's a box. Let's go to a case. Where are you, Monarch cases? Right here. So this is $228 right there. If I were to buy 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If I were to buy 14 of these, does that all of a sudden make it a $300 case? Probably not, unless other people are willing to pay that price. Because this is just TCG Player. You're not even considering private markets. You're not considering eBay. You're not considering Discord, Facebook, all that, right? So just because I'm like, oh, I think it's a $300 case, I'm going to buy it for $300. If it retraces a little bit, my cost average is still higher than what I lost. I'm willing to set on it because I got my position, right? Or I can make a buy list and like, hey, I'm buying all Monarch Unlimited cases for, 200, which means I'm paying less than what the TCG Player is, right? So if I'm buying off a TCG Player, I'm paying what the people are asking for. If it's not selling and sitting there for months, all of a sudden people got like a few $100s. Nobody's complaining about it. Some players might, or some people, speculating, or some people who have market watches like, oh, I didn't have a chance to buy all the position I wanted to. Michael wiped the market. Okay, well, I act. If I have an impulse, I act on it, right? So it is what it is. The point I'm trying to get across is I could buy tons of boxes. I could buy tons of singles. I could buy first edition. I could buy unlimited, all that. I primarily target first edition. I did buy some unlimited libraries. I bought some unlimited Husk. I had like 3 Husk returned, whatever, declined. There's many different ways to do it, right? This is just Monarch, right? What about Tails? Everybody's forgot about Tails for a while, except for New Horizon. I sold all my New Horizons when they're $220. They're $300. Am I upset? I lost out potential money, right? So I don't care. I sold it at the price I sold it at, and that's it. So the point I'm getting across is there's too much anger in the market, and anger might be a good thing, or people just might not understand, there's an economy behind the TCG, the game, right? It's a game. You collect it because they're really cool cards, and you can also invest in it because you think the cards might go up in value over time. I believe in Flesh and Blood. I believe in LSS. I put a lot of money into this game. And do I get happy when I see Monarch go up in value? Sure. But would I get happy if I see Tails go up in value, Everfest go up in value, Welcome to Wrath, Arcane Rising, Crucible War, Dynasty, Uprising? Yeah, sure, I'll be happy if anything goes up in value. Doesn't mean I have equal distribution of my investment in it, but just because I backed Monarch doesn't mean I have, Cold Foil, Alpha or Arcane Rising. I'm trying to get a 9.5 set, right? So I'm going to do a lot more grading, and that's not cheap to do. So if I speculate on it, I'm going to grade some cards, make some money, right? Then I'm going to probably spend some more money grading cards, and then people who want those grading cards are going to resell it. It's a cycling event. I invest in Flesh and Blood, and I rebuy Flesh and Blood. I grade Flesh and Blood. It's money. People are getting money, right? Some people are sad because they didn't get the card at a cheap price. Or maybe they're like, oh, I really wanted the Rainbow Foil for $40. Now it's $80 or $100. Okay, well, it happens. It's a luxury good. There's white border variants. There's other variants, right? Currently, Monarch, there's a foreign language variant of the card. And I'm sure we'll probably get an English version someday of History Pack 2, anytime soon. The market didn't need it. I've had Monarch First Edition cards for 2 years, year and a half, ever since it's come out, right? I've taken many losses on it. So I opened 200 boxes of Monarch First Edition when it came out. And then I looked at my distribution, and some of my cold foils I only had 2 or 3 of. I wanted to have at least 5 of each one. So I bought a Hexacore for $400. And I think that card's $50 right now, right? So I've taken losses on Monarch. I've taken losses on Everfest. So I've taken many losses, and nobody is upset when I bought the money and the card dropped in value. They're upset when I buy it low and it goes high. It goes both ways. And then some other losses I've taken was I bought some cards, Everfest. Everfest, I bought a lot of Everfest, and the cases dropped in value, right? I'm paying $400 a case. Case is $250 right now, $200. I'm not sure what it is. Same thing in Tales of Aria. So I've taken many losses on it, but I love the product, and I'll open it. I enjoy it, right? And I have faith it will go up in value again over time. So I bought some Tales and Everfest singles recently in cold foil because I think it'll go in value. So the market cycles Some cards will be popular now, some cards will be less popular in the future. The values cycle over time. So I try to buy a little bit of everything. So when something does become popular, I make some money off it. But I'm taking a lot of risk. Not everything's going to go up in value. So the point I'm trying to get across is buy cards. If you find a hero in the future that you're interested in, maybe buy it now. I'm not saying blow all your money. I'm not saying buy the whole deck, but build who you want. Like, for example, if you liked Bolton when Moniker was out, and he's not the meta hero right now, the price has gone up a little bit, but he still has rainbow foil variants of cards like Valiant Dynamos, Centauri Sabers. Find out whatever equipment he needed, get it. It may be useful. But you're also buying it early, so you're probably going to get a cheaper price than when it releases and if everybody else wants it. I do the same thing with speculating on cold foils and other cards. I try to buy it in anticipation that it'll come out. I read LSS lore. Last year, before Uprising came out, they had a story about potentially a light Dorinthia, right? So you had that. Talked about Shadow. Monarch storyline has been mentioned in Uprising. And then recently you had a Shanna, I think, Bolton little story go on. And then if you look at the cards in Dynasty, there's a Light Illusionist card, the Soraya Invoke, which I bought like 3 or 5 of those recently. And then you have the Bolton one, Prayer of Arena or whatever it's called. Point I'm getting across, everybody has the same opportunity I have. They might not have the same capital to invest what I'm doing. So if you buy fewer, do it. I buy a lot at once. But again, if you're selling at the price I buy it up to, okay, that's on you. I mean, should you feel guilty? Because I don't feel guilty what I do at all. Because I'm doing it. I vocalize what I'm doing. I don't buy the whole market. There's many, many, many opportunities. Everyone's eyes are laser focused on, Monarch, Dusk Till Dawn, or maybe Outsiders is coming out. Really excited. You got the, Ninja and Ranger equipment and all that stuff, and Assassin stuff. But there's many other things you could buy in anticipation for future, which I have probably not thought of. But it's very easy to focus on what I bought because I shock the market a little bit when I do it. And I tell people what I'm buying. I might not tell them until after I buy it, but I also give you my rationale for why I bought it. And there's other cards I don't buy that I missed. For example, someone bought my cold foil masks of Pouncing Lynx or whatever the other day. I got caught and I bought it up myself, right? I'm like, shit. Now that card's worth $60. I sold mine for $40, or maybe it's $80. Who knows, right? It's a cool card. But I get caught up in buyouts too, because I buy and sell too. So I take potential losses too when I sell my cards at a lower value. It's hard to keep up with everything. But my ultimate goal is to keep track of the market, keep track of the lore, predict what's going to happen, and I buy. So at the end of the day is, you buy or you don't. If you sell at the new prices, or some people DM me, you're like, hey, Michael, I pulled this card from Uprising. I really wish it was worth more. Can you buy more of it? I'm not going to listen to your request to buy up cards, ever. So if someone tells me to buy up a card because they're like, oh, I want to make more money off it. Okay, well, are you the bad guy too, if you're asking me to do that? Or if you're asking someone else to do buyouts because you have a card, right? So, and I'm not even doing buyouts. I'm not waving out the market. I'm buying up to X price. The library, I bought up to $200. Now it's $150. So technically, I lost out $50 because now it's worth less than what I bought. I expected it to retrace, right? So, and then the library cold foil, I bought up to like $500. I think it sold on eBay recently for $650. So that one's a good buy. But some of my buys retrace, some of them increase because cold foil libraries are actually a pretty rare card and really beautiful card, right? The rainbow foil libraries, we have no idea how many are printed. Maybe there's millions of boxes. I doubt it. If Monarch Unlimited, I think eventually everything will dry. But if I do that, there will be a lot more people opening boxes and release to the market. So the point of the story is don't get upset. Play the game. Buy cards you want. And if I make purchases, I'm very vocal about it. But I could do it behind the scenes just as easily. I could do it over time. But I like to act fast. I'm impulsive. I find something, I want it now. I get one position, then I'm done. But there's many ways to approach it. People do it in shadows. I'm vocal about it. So guys, I want you to, sign up, subscribe to my channel, join my Discord, and then maybe instead of being upset, you'll understand my point of view and realize I'm not really that big of an asshole. I love Flesh and Blood, love the game, and I'm not trying to hurt players. People might take my quotes out of context, right? It happens, but ultimately I'm not trying to hurt players. Some of my purchases, maybe I think a card's too low in value, but I'm not trying to hurt you. Ultimately, I care about the health of the game, Flesh and Blood. And I'm very open. Reach me, DM me. You got Twitter, you got Discord, all that. I'm open. But if you want to hate on me, hate on me. You want to call me a coward, call me a coward. But I'm available to talk. I usually respond to my DMs. So it is what it is. And I post on Twitter. So if you want to, yell at me on there, yell at me on Discord, or ask me suggestions of what you're interested to buy, and I'll tell you what I bought and maybe what I haven't bought. So there's all that. So we always have discussions. Discord is a really nice place to join. You got Whale Street. I put the link in the description in this video. And guys, let's all be happy. Let's have a good time. Flesh and Blood's doing really well. It's growing. And we have, Pro Tour coming up. And we're, releasing in Japan soon. So really good stuff. So no more complaining. If you got to this point in the video, I want to let you know I'm putting in a thumbnail just to provoke you guys to click the video, but it's just a joke. So guys, have a good one. Bye.